All right, guys. Well, we are so excited that you guys decided to join this event today. We get to kick things off. And so my name is Jen Conrad, and I have my husband, AJ Conrad, here. And we actually were getting ready to go about our day, and I realized, oh my gosh, we need to do this video. So AJ's changed clothes, and he said, apologize for his bourbon shirt here, but
I'm not sorry.
He's not sorry at all.
So I haven't been drinking bourbon yet. Still a little early.
Not yet. So we are jumping on pre-recorded because by the time you're viewing this, AJ is going to be actually on his way to Africa. And so we're here to just tell our quick story, tell our why and how it has evolved, and maybe kind of some of the resistance that you had about me joining the business and how you became a part of it. So first of all, our Rodan and Fields journey started almost 5 years ago at a time when I was in grad school. And I really was just looking for a way to get a guilt-free date night, to kind of just add to our family's bottom line, to stop living so paycheck to paycheck just on AJ's income while I was going to school. At the time, AJ had just returned from his 6th deployment, and we were honestly just really tired. And we were seeing that deployments were kind of the way that we were able to save money and get ahead. And so we were just kind of praying for an opportunity to come into our lives that would kind of allow us to have an uncapped income potential that would allow us to do more and be more and make a bigger impact. And so little did we know that would come in the form of a skincare business while I was in grad school, while I was thinking I had it all figured out and that was going to be my life's plan. But what we quickly realized is that we were called to be full-time entrepreneurs. I actually said no thank you to the job offers I was receiving after my graduation, and we decided to just, let's see what happens. I was doing this business so incredibly part-time in the nooks and crannies around 3 boys, around a husband who was working 3rd shift, like I said, who had just gotten back from a deployment. And life was crazy busy. And so if anyone could have told you they didn't have time, it would have been me. But I'm so glad that I just took a leap of faith and I just kind of believed that this was going to be that opportunity. And so I worked this business full time, and it became my career. And it was really weird to be able to wake up every day and kind of figure out how I was going to spend my day, choose if I wanted to work or didn't want to work from the car or, wherever I wanted to be.
And PJs all day.
And PJs all day. Let's be honest. But we quickly started to see our paychecks grow, and we started to see just that we were able to, give back more. We were able to start sponsoring kids overseas. We were able to just,
Sorry, we have dogs at our feet. We have a 90-pound German Shepherd and a Lab, and
so beautiful working at home. But we just really started to see that we were able to do so much more with our paycheck than just, pay bills. And we started talking about possibly bringing AJ home. And, we thought that was maybe like a 5-year plan or something like that?
At the time.
Yeah, at the time when we started talking about it. So I probably was in business, about, I don't know.
2.5 years.
Yeah. We started thinking, okay, well, in 5 years, it would be really, really nice to be able to give you the option to retire early, because we were really missing him, especially coming home, like I said, after our 6th deployment. And then he would go to work as a police officer, 3rd shift. And so basically I was living when he was sleeping and he was sleeping when I was living. And we were just kind of like, did I really?
Yes.
So you know what I mean. We were living opposite and sleeping opposite of each other. And so I thought really hard about that too. So we started to see that our paychecks were growing, and we were seeing that not only had I replaced a salary that I was expecting to receive with my master's degree, that we had now exceeded his salary. And, we could have continued to have him work on his police job. We could have continued to run this business and watch it grow and continue to build that financial nest egg. But what we really wanted was we wanted choices back. We wanted freedom, and time freedom was a huge gift for a military family or a law enforcement family that really never got any of those choices. And so, way before our 5-year plan, so it was probably how long have you been in?
So just to clarify, our story is our story. Okay, it's different than everybody else's. There's some similarities to other stories that you might hear and you might see. But we prioritized our family time more than we prioritized anything else, and that was huge. And like Jen said, I have a military background and I have a law enforcement background. I worked law enforcement for 13 years. I've been in the military for 22 years. Jen has an educational background and a real estate background before she started her master's program into social work. So that opens up a lot of eyes when people see how this opportunity can be approached by different people. But yeah, when we really sat down, we were about 2.5 years into our business, and we started watching our checks grow, and we started seeing things happen, and we were like, hey, maybe in this time frame we could bring you home. And we did the math, we did our homework, and we looked at all our finances, everything. We're like, okay, it's a 5-year. But then as our business grew, obviously the checks grew, and that time shortened. And we were like, in 6 months, we were like, oh, maybe this is like a 3-year plan. And then like 6 months after that, we were like, man, maybe this is like a year plan. And then 6 months after that, we were like, maybe this is a end of the year plan. So September 10th of 2016, in August, but September 16th, September 10th, see, I'm tongue-tied like you were. September 10th of 2016 was my official last day as a police officer. And when we started this business, and a lot of people ask, and I'm sure we'll probably get into it. But when we started this, or when Jen started this, I was off at training, and it was hey, I found this opportunity. What do you think? And I'm like, hey, I'm doing a bunch of stuff right now. Can we talk about it when I get home? And being the outstanding, loving wife she is, I'm on my way home, and she said, oh, by the way, I joined this company. And I was like, okay, that's great. If that's what you want to do, understand. You are in your master's program at the University of Southern California in social work. You have a lot of clinicals to do. You have a lot of homework. I mean, it's like a 40-hour-a-week program. Plus, we have 3 boys that play sports and do this and do that. And I work 3rd shift. As long as if you can manage it, babe, I support you. You got to do your thing. So, what had happened is that was about 6 months before you graduated, right? It was, yeah. So when she graduated, is when she talked about earlier, we saw what she was making with RNF is what she was getting offered as jobs in the federal and private job sector for social work, which is sad. But we were like, hey, let's try this for a year. Let's give it a shot for a year. If it doesn't pan out, if it doesn't work, then we can find you a job and we'll move forward. But obviously, God had different plans for us, and blessed us with what we had. So
yeah. So basically, our why has changed and evolved over time. Like I said, so we started this business because we wanted a guilt-free date night. We wanted to add to our family's bottom line, which that quickly moved to, me taking over some of the bills. Then it moved into me paying, making it my full-time income. And then it fully replaced our family's income. And then, because God, like I said, we were introduced to sponsorship through this program, through this company. And I was invited to go over to Africa, and I always was like, no, not for me. I can't do this. I don't feel called to this. And then just after persistence and praying and things like that, I ended up
me pushing her on the airplane.
Basically pushing me on the plane. I started to find what my role was there. And I always wondered why God had given me this opportunity and my social work degree at the same time. Because I was like, what in the world? Like, what are you going to have me do? Like, I have no idea. And little did I know that was going to lead us to actually, really getting into sponsorship program, but falling in love with a country in Africa, falling in love with our sponsor kids and the kids over there, and really just our eyes were open to the needs of what we could do with our, not only with our income now, but with our platform. Like, we have built this huge social media platform that we get to stand on and get to use for other things. And so basically, after my first trip, I came back and my social work eyes were wide open, and I was like, what in the world? Like, I have to do something. And I think AJ can attest that I was literally like, I don't know what, but I need to do something.
She was crazy.
And then it led me on my second trip to really taking notice of the beds that the kids were sleeping in. And, I know that a bed is a main source of comfort for a lot of people. And these kids who have nothing, their bed is really the only thing that is truly theirs, that they're not sharing with anyone else. And after further investigation, these beds were embedded with bed bugs. They were moldy. They were falling apart. They weren't safe. And the kids were getting bit every night just from the bed bugs. And so we knew something had to be done. And I partnered with another girl within our company who I had never met before, but just because of this business, just because of our hearts for this country, we were able to partner together. We were able to raise in 5 days, $30,000 for brand new beds that were assembled here, that were then shipped over to the country in Africa, unloaded, and they are all up and ready to go. And so none of that would have been possible had this opportunity not been presented in our lives, had we not had the friendships that we've made within this community.
Yep.
And really our eyes open up to this business. Yes, it's amazing for adding to your family's bottom line. It's amazing, to pay for a bill or pay for vacation funds. But it's the impact that this business can do. And that impact can be right in your home, like bringing your husband home who has not been able to be very active in your home. It can be in your community, giving back more, doing more things. It can be in, a global level, like we were just talking about. And so through this journey, we were able to, like I said, use our platform to raise awareness, to raise funds. And then it led us to them asking us if we had a heart for adoption. And we were just talking in the car today, had this been 5-10 years ago, we would have laughed in your face had you said, first of all, you're going to Africa, you're both going to Africa, and you're going to be adopting 2 teenage kids in the middle of your 3 boys. We would have laughed. Yeah. And we would have said, not us. But we have found that
this business, it can open doors that you would never see before. It will open you up to things that you've never imagined. It's an opportunity. It's a vehicle. It's an amazing thing if you let it be an amazing thing. And like I said, our story is different than everybody else's. And you have to let it be your journey. Yeah. You have to let it be your story.
And I think the one commonality you're going to see is that we all feel that this opportunity is a gift. And if somebody's asked you to join them on this journey, it's not what they want for themselves. It's what they want for you. Right. We firmly believe that we have this gift in our hands that is to be given away and it's to be multiplied. And we would be very selfish if we weren't passing that on to other people. And our responsibility as leaders is to present the opportunity and to be there and to be able to help and inspire our downline, just like the other couples on this team or on this meeting. We actually a lot of us are not even in the same downline, but that's what you're going to find with this company is that the heart is so big that we partner with like-minded people because we have a common mission and a common goal to bring this opportunity to the masses. So that is our why, really long-winded, but we have a few things that we were supposed to talk about. First, so like AJ said, is I went to him and said, hey, I found this opportunity. And he was like, why don't you wait a little bit? So when you first heard that I found an opportunity, before really digging deep into it, like what was your initial reaction? Like, what did you think initially?
Initially, I was a little reluctant because you had done direct sales before. So I wasn't a fan of mandatory inventory. I wasn't a fan of mandatory party planning. I wasn't a fan of, all these mandatory things. So that was a big turnoff. I wasn't a fan of some of the things that had been done before weren't very lucrative. And I mean, if the goal was to be a date night, yeah, we could have done that. But deep down, I was looking for something a little bit more. I knew going into social work, it wasn't the best financial job income that could be there, but just if there was something more. So I think those were the biggest things I was reluctant about.
Yeah, and I know I had those too because I was like, yeah, come on, like I've done it all. I remember even taking my box and throwing it away because I was like, this is not going to work, like whatever. So your initial reaction was you were hesitant. At what point do you think that shifted for you?
I think it was probably when I saw how much you were enthused about it a little after you started.
Yeah.
Because I remember our initial investment, and you earned that back very quickly, like within 45 days. And you were like, holy moly, and I'm like, man, we just made our investment back. That's awesome. And I think the other thing is, and this is what I recommend to a lot of people, if you're still thinking about this business, or you want to do your business, but you're thinking about your spouse or whatever want to join you, do your homework. Research this business. Research everything there is, because that's what I did. I got home and I did my homework. I took about a month and a half. But I would go to work and I would steal 5 minutes, 10 minutes here when I'd be at home, or on my days off. I would pull it up and I would do the research. And I am not a business guy by any shape, way, or form. I'm not. But I started reading articles, and I started, like I said, doing my homework, and I saw what this business was, and I saw what it was doing, and taking some listening tips from businessmen, from some very, very smart businessmen. I'm like, okay, this has got a legitimate chance to do something big for us. And that's what I think was the big enthusiastic thing for me was learning a little bit about business, learning a lot about this business and what its potential was. I was like, okay, you got something here. She's smarter than I am anyway, so.
And I think a lot of people are surprised to hear that skincare was not my passion. Like, honestly, I hardly ever washed my face. He certainly never washed his face. And so skincare was not our passion, but we knew that these doctors that created Proactiv, if we would have been able to partner with them at that point, we couldn't even imagine what our lives would look like. Yeah. So why would we not say yes when they were giving us the opportunity to represent their other brand? And so we saw it as the smart investment that it was. And that's why men can do this business with their wife. This is why men can do this business by themselves, because it's about giving an opportunity away. It's about presenting products that are clinically proven to work. It is about giving people literally a turnkey virtual global franchise. And you do not have to have a background in the skincare, okay, in business. You will get the coaching, you will get the, like he said, the learning along the way, and with the support of your team and this company. And so in closing, what is just something you wish you would have maybe known a little earlier on our journey? Or if you could have told yourself something like,
change my role from just a support role to being an active consultant earlier. I would have done that earlier.
Yeah, but I think that your roles, and a lot of people ask us, well, what does he really do? He's a Marine, like he's slinging like eye cream,
Right.
And the truth is he does have his own preferred customers. He's always talking about the opportunity. He is doing trainings with me. He's presenting the opportunity just like this with me. But there's sometimes that he knows that I'm super focused on a goal, and then he takes up the slack for me. We're a very good team. There are some times that he's like, Jen, we really need to work on this, and then we can kind of shift our roles. So it's going to look different in every family, but I think I love the most is that you say, no matter what, this is a home business.
Right.
It's going to be part of your home. And so you need to take the time to, if your wife is wanting to do this and you're not really wanting to partner with her, just take the time to understand what she's doing so that you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Educational.
And one of the trainings I do, and one thing we talk about is the evolution of the male consultant or power partner. And we get it. And I went through them. I started as a support role. I would cook dinner. I'd do laundry. I would take the kids to sporting events. I would do all the extracurriculars while she had to focus on things. And that was fine. And then I rolled into what we call the validator. And one thing that always resonates with me is, I rode in a two-man car one night, and me and this other guy we got small talk going real fast. And we never really worked together or anything. And, I'm like, so what does your wife do? And he's like, she's a stay-at-home mom, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, well, what does your wife do? And I'm like, for the next 7.5 hours, I talked about RNF. And, it was just, I became that validator. I became the person that really showed what this, business can do. And I was full supportive. And then I became a consultant. But, like you said, and one thing that we preach is, this business is coming into your home and you have to support it. You will be very, very surprised of the growth and the abilities that you have when both parties are fully vested. One thing we talk about is buy-in, having buy-in into this company when it comes into your home. Like I said, when you do your homework and you look at the MLM and you look at how many articles have been written about Rodan and Fields, you look at the evolution of RNF in its 10th year. This is our 10th year. We haven't been with them for 10 years, but it's been in 10 years, and you look at what it's done. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I want you to do your homework. But once you see that, it's really eye-opening. And the thing with homework too is because a lot of guys get wrapped around this axle like, I can't sell skincare. Dude, you're not selling skincare. Skincare is just the vehicle. That's all it is. You look at the fashion industry, you look at the beauty industry, you look at that stuff, and you look at how many men are the CEOs, CFOs, any role, high presidential role, whatever, in those businesses, you'll be really amazed. And those guys, I'm sure, are not, probably didn't start their lives off saying, hey, I want to be a skincare, makeup designer, whatever. They just found a product, or they found something that they could do, and they did it very well. So do that homework, look at it, be legitimate about it, talk to people, understand the opportunities, and understand that, when you join this business, you're welcomed with open arms. Our German Shepherd's chasing his tail. It's hilarious. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. He's a puppy still.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, just be open-minded. Understand you're going to be brought in with open arms, and the training you get, not just from, your uplines, but from corporate and from surrounding teams and everything like that. It's really amazing. It's a great group. Don't listen or don't make excuses for why this business wouldn't work for you, because trust me, everybody's had them, and they've all been busted. So, yeah.
So we're here. We're real. We have dogs barking. We tried to do this before our kids came home. But yeah, they want our attention. So just want to thank you guys for watching our video. If you're watching this as part of the event, you're going to hear some amazing stories throughout the day. If you're watching this on our VIP page, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Continue the conversation. And we just thank you guys for listening.
See you guys.